You too, me too, one too many, women, men, little children too. Your co-workers, VA healthcare providers, hypnotherapists, doctors, commanders-in-chief, military installation commanders, demanders.
Fuck me, fuck you. Forget consent. They don't repent.
Stranger danger. And those we know. Spouse, boss, friend, co-worker, family. Betrayal.
The rapist is a repeat offender and not always of the same gender. Held at gunpoint against my will. Bound, tied up in a chair, leaving me forever with claustrophobic despair. Walking home from school, the assault was cruel. Peeping Tom can't take my shower. No safe place, what a disgrace. Riding the bus, what could be the fuss? Touching my face, it's not your place. Stalker, you freaking gawker? What consent? They don't ask, never will. It's against your will. Weinstein tarnished and trashed the name. The movie mogul seeking fame. I altered my name to stay in the game. The Mueller and impeachment Q&A limited what he or she could say. Impeachment Q&A brings new voice to the day. Simmons, Gina, Russell flex their muscle, use their influence and might. The nation's most vulnerable and greatest hope are children, trafficked, used, and sexually abused. The insatiable predator Epstein and crew lured younger women for himself and for the powerful few. Enablers in high places knew exactly what to do. The financial and politically powerful mongers, Epstein and Acosta, a disgusting disgrace to the human race. The Rolling Stone Roger will gather no moss as Donald Trump continues to play the mob boss.
Woody, Wynn, Polanski, Paterno, Dustin, Franken, Ailes, Sandusky, Spacey, Racy, POTUS, past and present. When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything, even grab him by the pussy. You can do anything. Brotopia, director. Onset, offset, Warzone, producer, reducer, the line and music producer, the stylist, the makeup artist, the hotel clerk. A Rose McGowan by any other name, would you be as sweet? Ronan gives voice, SAG-AFTRA, Ever After, and other unions too. DOD and group after group. I implore you not to get stuck in loop after loop, 'cause union or non-union, Congress, Senate, Armed Services Committee.
You remember, Dylan sang it. Come senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. My party, your party, cry if you want to. Exploitive, Matt Lauer, Bill Cosby, and R. Kelly too. There aren't enough words for any of you. Calling out a black man, I'm told, is difficult to do. Black sisters are fearful that someone will misconstrue. You see, different cultures have their silent rules. No more, Roy Moore. Old, young, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, the USA Gymnastics, Dr. Nasser and the Olympics Committee, Dr. Strauss and the Ohio State wrestlers, the Coreys, the Cosby survivors, abortion, drones, racial overtones. Russians aspire to kill the American desire for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Putin and Kim have become the American sin. Demagogues, dictators, and those in training infect American society while we continue hating. Anti-Semitism at an all-time high, and that's no lie. The left hates the right hates the left. In the end, there will be nothing left. As supremacists attack, we must fight back, 'cause what you resist persists, and that ain't jack.
I thought concentration camps were a horror from our past, but memories linger and emotions do last. As children in cages crying in the night, I wonder how we can sleep at night. Crowded and dirty, no showers to wash, treated inhumanely and without human dignity, and how horrendous the cost. Every homeless man, woman, and child should get us riled. Most look the other way, no eye contact today. As we look in the proverbial mirror and it reflects what we see, one nation under what? Looking back at me. If all the world's a stage and we are merely players in the game of life, it's difficult to comprehend why we could cause another human being such despicable strife. The disabled were mocked by our so-called commander-in-chief. No one should be made fun of at someone else's expense. That could leave us indefensible and left with Vice President Pence. CDC and WHO, fact or fiction, we want to know. For this is the way more than a 3-hour tour that Gilligan, Marianne, Ginger, Thurston, Lovey, and the professor could endure. Lives were double parked at sea and shoved into buses and tents and no longer free. Caught in the Bermuda Triangle of Trump, Pence, and the CDC, Trump said, "The virus will disappear, poof, like magic, just like your IRA has gone away." Fear and pandemonium are bound to ensue. Lacking tests, no real facts, social distance and quarantine too. Test and Vince can't make dents if he withholds and lies are told. Hoarding toilet paper and sanitizer will never do if this virus comes for you. Viral and financial disaster about to ensue. Who can you trust? What must you do in order to protect yourself and your loved ones too? When warnings aren't heeded, drastic measures are needed. Supplies are slim and it's impossible to win. Doc Fossey makes sense, but not to Donald or Pence. Cities in peril, facing the devil. As doctors beg and nurses plead, Donald Trump will certainly not heed. As patients die, and that's no lie, with few masks or few vents, ain't gonna make no dents. Policies will change to cover his lies as people in hospitals continue to die. The blame game, what a shame. Doctors are forced to decide who lives or who dies, while Trump plays God as he continues to lie. Will COVID reveal what most of us feel? Fear and mortality have become our reality. What will you do if it happens to you? Will you get the vent if you do not repent? Isolate and distance as loneliness erodes. The need for human connection is beginning to grow as the numbers increase. Still so much we don't know.
Is there a silver lining in a dark gray cloud? As tears run down your face and you cry out loud, corporate versus people? We mustn't delay. Every second counts each and every day as the invisible enemy wreaks havoc each and every day. The corona coaster way, health crisis, economic crisis, job crisis, financial crisis, crippling the American way. Awaken from the coma in the USA and you may live another day the pandemonium way. Tragedy and fear, changing day-to-day life. Living versus dying has become the story of your life. Don't stand so close to me. It's not just a song for you and me. As politicos bargain with each breath we take, I pray the jerk on Pennsylvania Avenue doesn't make another monster mental mistake. As the virus runs rampant, gown and glove and mask if you can. Supplies dwindle. Better be Jack, be nimble. Make your escape. Gotta get out of the city, 'cause no one takes pity. Without vents and supplies, everybody dies. We begged and we pleaded for testing that's desperately needed. When finance versus science is Trump's reliance? I eat. At night, I can't sleep. Mask on, mask off is as political as can be. Business open or don't open. Who's to see what your choice will be? To test or not to test? Does this make us free? As frustrations rise, there are more and more lies. Consistency in leadership is as lacking as can be. Economy versus health? This virus is stealth.
I ain't no commie, I'm somebody's mommy. Right here in the US of A, born and bred the American way. Los niños arrancados de las manos de sus padres. If all the world's a stage, then when children are put into a cage, you'd think it would leave each and every one of us with a sense of parental outrage. As our caste system grows, the inequity shows big business must play the American way. Every homeless man, woman, and child should get us riled. Most look the other way, no eye contact today. Back in the day, it was about Tricky Dick's way. Now DT is spreading his infectious racism the wingnut way. The DSM comes to life in the midst of serious presidential strife. Never thought we'd see the day where diagnosis comes alive while others don't thrive.
Appointed for life. Kavanaugh sentencing his victims to a life of strife. Another powerful political rapist lurking in plain sight. Military sexual trauma. The women and men of our armed forces, affecting active duty and veterans too. Orange may be the new black, and that's not off track. Not an invite to touch me without consent. Your criminal mind doesn't permit you to repent. Native Americans on the reservation. American slave history, hardly a mystery. At the bar, you cover your drink to stay in the pink, for the predators are often someone you don't think. Coach Sandusky, Dr. Luke, groomers, monsters, Holly Weird, Mackenzie, Uma, Alyssa, Mira, Kesha, Yaz, Barb, Ashley, Kate, Dre, Annabella, Asia, PK Hill, Gabrielle, Drew, and E. Jean too. Go ahead. Add your name. Women with voice, it's now your choice.
As Gaga sings it, till it happens to you, believe it or not, many different places they do prowl. Places, everyone. Nursing home, campus, clergy, hospital, civilian, and VA. Recording studios. Dahmer, Gacy, Bundy, Zodiac. Serial rapists graduate to killers perp their way. They can't change to lock the monster away. If it bleeds, it leads. If it's news, you choose. It's really about the lies, hidden agendas, cover-ups, and payoffs, no matter the story you view. Sexual violence? It's not about sex. It's power and control over you. And ignoring the rape kits will never do. All ethnicities. Here's where we're equal under the crime. Perps get away most of the time. Invisible war, hunting ground, justice denied. The monsters have influence. The list goes on. Social justice, injustice, guns or rape, LGBTQ plus or straight. These heinous crimes do not discriminate. Educate and advocate, not too late. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If you can't relate, get to the starting gate. When an AK gets pointed and you're lucky enough to hide and tweet, unsure of the fate you're about to meet.
The Boston Marathon, Sandy Hook Elementary School, Newtown, Connecticut, Colorado's Columbine High, Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay, Walmart, El Paso, Texas. This is an epidemic. Just another week in America.
Some tragedies don't make headlines, and nevertheless, as the list gets longer, I become more depressed. Is it a stretch to say that in each and every way, armed guards are needed to save the day to keep the violence du jour at bay? At offices, synagogues, churches, temples, daycare centers, hospitals, nightclubs, newsrooms, the post office and government buildings, bars and restaurants, preschools, yoga studios, high schools, movie theaters, middle schools, college campuses, military installations? Something is seriously wrong with our American society. More for sure, not if but when, as children die, we cry in the same breath we deny. Policy creation and change. Will we then get a national change? The Hill in DC is a slippery slope. It feels like trying to climb up a rope. Climb it you must. Preparation is key for living your life unencumbered and free. So when all is said and done, at the end of the day, you scratch your head and ask yourself, what significant role did politics play? Because day after day, be it CNN or the Foxy way, some political has analyzed the drama of the day. Be it left, be it right, or if independent, it's your fight. History repeats what's discussed every day and every night. Have we only learned how to put up a fight in order to save our country from personal blight? If what you resist persists, then we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. So wake up and snap to and rise up on the double. At every turn we are faced with being a disgrace to the entire human race. It's bait and switch, truth or lie, for the guy in the White House continues to pathologically lie.
As his nose grows, and that's not prose. For as the liar experiences the Pinocchio effect, if you don't tell the truth, respect eventually may cease, while support from others is apt to decrease. The snarls will give you away, growing multiple times in a single day. For some reason or other, if money is most important to you, selling you down a river or two, leading to foreign shores, does treason become an acceptable reason? Some look the other way, for he meets your sick schema at the end of the day. No one's racism or bigotry should be dismissed, as your morals and ethics are surely to evaporate like the morning mist. Too many turning a blind eye, because I got mine, regardless if you got yours. Control reigns, leaving its stains on inequities under the law. The playing field ain't level. Therefore must you inevitably face the devil. As the powerful ignite, we must put up a fight. First impeachment and acquittal reached. So now has America been breached? At the end of the day, Romney said it his way. When no punishment today, this cannot secure our country in a true blue new American way. Removal or not, we are still put on the spot. Before Trump's out the door, let's have ourselves a Middle Eastern war. With Iran and the U.S. often on the brink, what else are you and I to think?
Debate on whether or not to vote, thinking you don't count. Mail-in ballots are in the booth. What would it amount to? To change after all. in the face of speculation about civil divide, as our values and ethics continue to collide. So as you stand in the booth and are left with a choice, shut the curtain behind you and vote your choice. You must have a voice. It's up to you and it's up to me. Voter suppression cannot be, as the November election is about to go down in the land of the brave and the home of the free.
Racism, demagoguery, climate change, and hate. Can we afford to turn a blind eye or throw in the towel before it's too late? Allies betrayed, our friends don't trust us, our enemies don't fear us. Kurds mistreated like turds, the blood is on his hands. Men, women, children die, so those on Trump properties can rely on their golf course game tea time as mothers cry, watching their loved ones die. Rudy, you fall like the towers as Trump devours. What a scandal. Skiff, tiff, a frantic display. As Republicans stampeded, stormed the day. Defending a liar is now the American way. For those in need, hunger, tired, and poor, Emma Lazarus and Lady Liberty opened the door. Long ago it may be, and that we do see. Lessons of yesteryear remain, and that you will see. If we have not learned the lessons, nothing will change for you and for me.
Peaceful protest, loot, or riot, we cannot deny it. I can't breathe. Voices must be heard. Kaepernick, peaceful on bended knee, stood up for you and for me. In fighting for liberation, there's always retaliation. What politicians don't do will cause violence to ensue. I can't breathe. Systems failed, society derailed. Equality for me, inequality for you. Look in the mirror, do you see what I see? It's different for you, it's different for me. I can't breathe. Democracy or dictatorship, what will it be? Is it too late? Must he hate and dominate? I can't breathe. Some blue lives murder, black lives matter. The bruises inflicted by and upon black and blue run through and through to the core of me and you. It's no mystery, so much history and so much hate, it's hard to see the good in those that do not affiliate. Since black mortality wreaks immortality, curfew tonight or military might bring jackboot thugs in the middle of the night. The line between brutality and COVID mortality, a tenuous one at best. Disease spreads as crowds gather. This may not be our finest hour. I can't breathe. The nature of racism is lethal as can be because healthcare differs for you and for me. Show me democracy among this hypocrisy. Grief, fear, and civil unrest is not our best. This is not America. Is it? It is.
Let's get solution focused like this carnage demands. A multi-systemic approach these crises demand. Be it shootings, bombings, or sexual assault, I say stop. Think. Are you comfortably numb? Are you turning away? Excuses are lame, and aren't you tired of the same? 'Cause you too, me too, we too will never be enough to. Dylan sang it, when you're gonna wake up and strengthen the things that remain. Perps will be perps and that'll never change. So be prepared to fight the fight for the long haul, for the ever-elusive policy change. No more silence. Teach your children well. Enlighten society. Engage the journalists. Keep the conversation going. 4, you can't ignore a tsunami. It pulls everything up off the ocean floor, throwing remnants everywhere upon the shores, leaving debris and change evermore. NIMBYism means not in my backyard. Unless it happens to you, you hide in the dark. Be it sexual assault or gun violence, it's way past time. Bump stock or mental health, we're so out of time. So as global disease spreads, glaciers melt, ocean temperatures rise, and fires blaze. If you're left in the dark, don't be surprised if you're left hoping and praying that tears result in a spark of hope, solutions, and change. No more shame in order to survive and thrive. For courageous victims deserve to be heard and believed without justice denied.